podcast, 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 Will It Be Podcast, Will It Be Podcast, Will It Be Podcast, Will It Be Podcast, yeah! Yo, this is your boy Willie P from the Willie P Podcast, talking all things art, all things music. Hope you enjoy.
Hey y'all, so this week it's a little different. I had some internet technical difficulties with the internet in the music room. So this one is going to be in my room, and Charlene's audio is going to sound really fucking good, but my audio is probably going to sound a little bit trash because I was using this shitty headset. But it's going to be sick, very interesting. Yeah, it's actually a really fucking very good podcast. We went for like an hour and 40. It was very fucking cool. Lots of rants, very interesting, fat DMs, all very good. So stay tuned, check it out. Stop it.
All right. Welcome to the Willie P Podcast. Thanks for coming on. Episode 13, I think we're up to. So congratulations. So yeah, how's things? What got you into teaching? That's my first question, because you're a musical teacher genius.
Yeah, kind of. Not really. Well, I've been teaching like since I just turned 18. So as soon as I was able, I guess you could probably teach before that. I'm assuming. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know why I thought 18 was allowed to.
No, that's cool.
But yeah, I was just busy doing the McDonald's, the KFCs, the yogurt lands, all the jobs to.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a way
over,
radder job than that's a way radder job than like working at like KFC and stuff. That's cool. I wish I did that.
I did them all. I've done my time. I literally still have dreams about working at KFC. So yeah, I just got into teaching, and then I worked my way through a couple of different schools, and yeah, I'm still teaching 4 years later, and
yeah,
still good, still my.
No, that's sick. That's sick. Like, cause what got you into like teaching and stuff? Like, were you just kind of like, oh, that could be a cool thing, or was it just kind of like this could be a cool side hustle or something?
Well, yeah, at the time, like, I was still in high school when I started, so I couldn't like do too much of it. But I think the end goal, not only like as my job at the time, but I wanted to eventually have like my whole life revolve around music. So
yeah,
job aspect at that time was like fast food and that kind of thing. So
yeah,
as soon as I could, I made that music, and that took care of that job money side of things.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's sick, man. I wish I did that, because what did I do? I was like doing just laboring stuff and like boring stuff. So that's awesome. That's very cool. When did you start like, I suppose you're probably listening to it since a young age, but like getting into like music in general, like yeah.
Well,
kind of a big question.
Well, for me growing up, like there wasn't that much diversity in music in my household. Like I was kind of limited to whatever was on like the pop radio. I mean, like Dad played like AC/DC and stuff, I guess.
Yeah.
Who out there? Well, you gotta laugh, but
yeah.
the first branch out of like the mainstream pop radio for me was the Twilight soundtrack. Right?
Nice.
I was Twilight when I was like 12.
Yeah.
I mean, am I obsessed now? I don't know.
Yeah. Edward or Jacob?
It was Edward, and I rewatched them.
Same.
Jacob's character is so cringe. I didn't realize how cringe it was now.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm gonna have to go back and check it out. Yeah. No, Edward's badass.
There were some mad songs in there. I had like Tom York, Likely, all these artists that I'd never heard of this type of music. And I remember when I bought the soundtrack. I think it was the New Moon soundtrack, so the second movie.
Sick.
Yeah, it had that Likely song in it. And I remember playing the CD when CDs were a thing. And I played that song over and over and over again. And I was just sitting on my bedroom floor like, oh my God, like, is this music? Is this how music's supposed to feel? Like,
that's sick. Yeah. That's awesome. So was like Radiohead like your first like thing, do you reckon? Or like they were like your first kind of big blow your mind artist? Yeah.
Yes, I think, well, I probably started listening to Radiohead, I'm going to say somewhere when I was a teenager, so like maybe 15, 16.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I went through the discography. I don't know how to say the word.
Yeah.
And yeah, every album's so different. Like there's so much experimental stuff in there that when I listened to it first, like when I was younger, I didn't really like understand what was going on. But then when I reapproached it a couple years later, when I had a bit more musical vocabulary under my belt, I was able to appreciate it a bit more.
Yeah.
I just love Tom York. Just I don't know how his mind works.
It's super interesting. No, 100%. Like I think I was about the same. Like I think I got into when I was like 15, but it definitely took me a while to like. I think Kid A. I don't remember what your first album was. Mine was like Kid A, and even like that, like took me a while to get into. But then it's like, man, like when I kind of like got it, I was like, whoa, like mind blowing.
Yeah, and I remember, I think I had this phase where I just kept buying CDs from JB Hi-Fi. I don't know why I dropped hundreds of dollars on CDs.
Yeah, nice.
And yeah, one of them was In Rainbows. I don't know why, but In Rainbows was always the cheapest Radiohead album to buy. So
really?
Like, well, I'm very, because I think it was like $10 and the rest were more. Shit. I don't know why. But and for a while, that was the only CD I left in my car, and so it was on repeat. But the more I listened, the more I wanted to listen again, and so that album is just so great. Like, I love that.
No, 100%. Yeah, 100%. Like, Oh my gosh. No, I that and like OK Computer, that was like really good. But yeah, how long did it take you to get into? I mean Radiohead too, but like the more experimental stuff, because it was weird when I first sort of like found it. I was like, oh, like what is this? Like I'm not into it, but like I was like kind of curious about it, and I kind of like with like a lot of metal stuff too, but like I kind of forced myself to listen to it. I was like, I feel like I'm like I will like this. I just don't understand it yet. But like, was that like a thing for you? Like, did it take you a while to kind of get it, or like, was it just like the more you listen to it, the more you liked it? I don't know.
I think for me, like, I felt like I was on my own little journey because I started experimenting with all these different genres, going down all these rabbit holes, and I didn't know anyone around me that was doing the same thing with the type of music I was listening to anyway. Like, I saw people go through their, their pop punk phases and and of course I did dive into that a little bit, but there was always this like these categories of music that I would show to someone and they just wouldn't like it, or they wouldn't appreciate it, they would hate it. Like I'm like, okay, I'll just stay in this little corner. And so I think from early teenagehood I started carving out my own music taste, I guess you could say.
Yeah, that's really cool. Because I was gonna say, did you have any I guess role models like in a way of like discovering new music? Like, was anyone like into similar stuff? I mean, I was very lucky. I had Luke, who's lead singer of Laser Loops, everyone, and like Tom as well. Like they were both like it was really cool. Tom showed me like Radiohead, and then like Luke showed me metal, so it was like a perfect mix. But that's cool. Like you discovered it all on your own. Like that's sick.
Well, most of it. I can't say all of it because there's definitely been people along the way like, have you heard this? I'm like, oh no, what's that? And so that helps shape. But a lot of it, like I don't know if I've had specific people that have gotten me into stuff. I guess like I don't know, like the genre. Like, do you mean like genres or like
I guess everything. Like just like I guess big artists that I don't know, that were a big influence on you, but like not even musically, but just like as like man, I dig that.
Well, early on there was super early on I got into Ep13, which
oh, so many great memes.
Of course the Midnight City memes, but Anthony Gonzalez or something. Something I don't know what it is, but yeah, it's like electronic. Well, I would call some of it like electronic ambience, experimental kind of thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, like that just captured me so much. I loved M83.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I remember like that would have started me down like that rabbit hole of like ambient kind of electronic stuff, I guess.
Yeah.
And yeah, like it just sent me down. There's so many rabbit holes to go down.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. Yeah. Oh, did you discover most of your stuff like in high school? Or would you like, I guess your favorite bands, or was it kind of after school that like you like really found your sound that you're into?
A bit of both. Like I think in high school, there's definitely artists and stuff that are still like top tier artists for me. So there's a couple I found, like some of my favorite artists, like Ryex and Keaton Henson. You know, I would have found those during high school. But then, like after high school, there was genres that I haven't delved into, like you know, like the new wavy genre, like that my old band was. I never dived into any like 80s type stuff like that, or you know, and that opens the whole world of like I like this too. There's so much to explore. I'm so excited.
Yeah, 100%. No, that's cool as. Yeah, definitely when I went to like Col Arts too, like like it was cool.
And the NAM flashbacks.
What's that?
Getting the NAM flashbacks.
Oh yes. New project. Have you got any? Because you were doing a thing with Alana. Is that's still a thing? And like, what kind of vibe are you guys going for?
So it's nothing set in stone. Nothing's official yet. Whatever. We're just in the brainstorming stage at the moment. Trying to find our sound. You know, finding how we're going to work together. It's been a bit hard because of COVID, because you know, we can't get together. And because we don't have that established yet, it's a bit too hard to do it online. So we've just like we've made a what's it called, Google Drive. We're just chucking really everything in there, and then I'm hoping like when we come together, we'll refine it. We'll say we like this, we don't like this. And like hopefully 2021 is a good year for that. I'm really hoping to get a project out. Like we have same vision for like stylistic things, for image, for all that. We work well together. We know that from past bands. It's just making the music and making sure we like the music. And then getting it out there. I'm super excited for that.
No, 100%. Well, when you do, we'll put you on and we'll I'll go into it and we'll talk about it. No, that'd be awesome. Yeah, I'm the same. Like I just want to like put out an album. It'd be sick. No, hell yeah.
Because it's very different, isn't it? Like when it comes from you rather than like playing in someone else's project. Like it's all good to play in someone else's. It's so fun still, and you bring that to life. But there's just something different about it being your own. But I think that's definitely something I want to do. Like, I don't want to die not having done that, so I'm gonna make sure. Even if
100%. Yeah, definitely. That's cool. That's still like one of my goals too. Is just like I just want to like have one album out. Like as long as I just want to be like Kurt Cobain, but just not become part of the 27 Club. That would be nice. No, that's sick. That's sick. When did you?
How's your stuff going anyway?
Oh, pretty good. I'm getting there. I've started recording guitars into I've got a bunch of demos and stuff, but I put them all into it's ridiculous. I have like 18 songs, but like some of them are finished and some of them kind of aren't, but they're all demos at the moment. Like I haven't properly recorded them yet, but I've got a couple more drum mics on the way, some Sennheiser 421s. And when they've arrived, I'll be able to start recording drums. But yeah, it's definitely a learning experience too, because I mean I learned a lot from Col Arts, but like definitely like doing everything yourself, and I guess it's cool because I have a bit more time to kind of like really figure things out. And even like mixing and too, I'm kind of keen for that because I'm doing it all myself. And originally I was gonna be like, oh, I'll just like see if I can get some studio time, but then I was like, oh, COVID, like there's not gonna be any like gonna be like ages, so I feel like it'll be better for me to do everything myself anyway. But I'll learn more and stuff.
Yeah, it's so different. Like you learn it all, but then when you go to apply it, it's very different. I feel like you can know this much knowledge, and then when you go to do it, your knowledge shrinks to about here.
Yeah. Oh, you're totally right. Yeah. 100%. I forgot all of like a lot of mixing techniques from Col Arts. So before I left, I I downloaded like whatever trimester I was up to is like all of the like mixing stuff. So I was like, all right, I'm going to go back and look at that and figure it all out. But what about you guys? Do you reckon you'll like mix stuff yourself, or like would you want to go into a studio to get stuff done?
Good question. I reckon I have the ability to make demos. But yeah, I think to get the cleanest like finished product, I don't think I'm there with mixing or anything like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I reckon I'll get a demo in, and then I'll take in the demos to wherever we're going to get mixed. You know, we know a few people, so we just decided we're going to go to.
Yeah.
And yeah, hopefully they can bring whatever vision we don't know how to do ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be awesome. No, fuck yeah. That'd be so sick. What's your best experience as a teacher?
All right.
And we'll throw in worst experience as well.
And the worst experience?
Yeah, we'll go both.
Ooh, okay. I'll go with worst first. Look, there's not that many bad ones, but there was one that stuck out that like it was bad because it was scary in a way. Like this was when I just started teaching, maybe within the first year and a half, and I used to teach more primary school age children, which now it's more high school. But when I was teaching the student, I won't say his name. Yeah. I think he was around 8-ish, maybe 8, 9, 10. And he had quite a bad temper. He just in general couldn't sit down, wouldn't listen. And then as soon as you try to give him something corrective, it's just anger. He'll get really angry, or he'll get really sad. And so it was very hard. It was like walking on eggshells a little bit. Yeah. But you also want them to progress in their class, right? So I have to be very careful with him. And I remember one class, I'm like, all right, do this. And this was in group lessons, so you had to move around to the other kids.
Oh, yeah, that's tough.
The other one here, and just work on this while I'm gone. As soon as I move, he kind of gets up and he walks towards there's a fan in the room, just like a what do you call it? The one to just stand in the room.
Yeah. Fan? That's it. I think so. Yeah.
And he's just standing on it, next to it, and he starts trying to put his fingers into it.
Oh no! Oh shit!
I don't. Oh my god! Imagine he chopped his finger off in this class, and so I took him out, and there's not many times that I ever use I don't know. I didn't yell, but use a stern, assertive voice, because that's not me. Yeah. I think this is one of 2 ever times I've done it. Yeah. But because it comes to safety, I had to do that. So I just brought him outside. I was like, "Do not do this." Blah 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 blah. Yeah. I mean, that just
Whoa, shit. Did he learn his lesson? Was he really good after that?
He didn't touch the fan, so.
Oh man, that's crazy. Oh man, I'm lucky. I've never never had an experience like that. That's crazy. Oh. I know what you mean though. It is tough getting kids to concentrate. That was definitely a thing I learned from teaching.
Yeah, and you would have only done group classes, is that right?
Yeah, I did a few. I think I had one solo one, and then but yeah, which I really like the solo ones because it was just super easy to just kind of do this. But yeah.
Yeah, group classes are hard with kids. They don't. You can't. As soon as you move on to the next one, the last one just doesn't do what you just started to do.
Yeah, 100%. I just try to make it as fun as possible. I think a few times I brought my electric guitar and I was like, check this out, distortion. It's cool. No, that's awesome. That's awesome. What's the best?
Yeah, I'm gonna get to that. The best. I can't think of like a unique best one. I think just really it's the classic like the light bulb moments when like like, and you know, whenever I see them like perform a piece that, you know, we've been working on for weeks, they get up and they perform it really good. It's like, oh, like I feel like a proud parent even though
No, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, it just gives you that little warm feeling inside.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Yeah. No, I was like that too. I think when we had the end of you were there, the end of year recital things, and I'd been teaching my kids like Seven Nation Army, and I was like, they all got it right. I was like, yes, it's so good.
I remember. I think that was one of my favorite songs. Because you have audio booth on the top.
Oh yeah.
On the audio, was that the one like you had? Did you have guitarists in that piece?
Yeah. I had I think I had like one of the kids is on acoustic guitar, and then the other one, I think there was a bass player there as well. I don't know if I remember. It was a long time ago, but it was very cool. I was like, you guys are so edgy. Yeah, it was awesome. I remember I got told to dress up as like, because I think it was like a punk theme or whatever, because Seven Nation Army. And I'm pretty sure like I dressed up as like that made us wear like green and stuff. And I was like, so cool. It was awesome. I remember I had this other kid, I think it was my first or second trial at this place. And this kid was like, I think he was like 6 or 7, but he's like, oh, like drums is my favorite thing in the world. Like it's like, man, like when I wake up in the morning, it's like the best thing. I was like, oh yes, oh it's so nice. It's like, you guys, so rad.
I remember you telling me that too.
Yeah. I think it was like my first or second like lesson. I was like, Charlene, this kid's amazing. I want more kids like this. But what's what's your best gig you've ever been to? Like a live show, like a
what?
Watched. That's very tough.
It is. Like, it depends. There's some, like, if I'm talking, so my favorite gig, and then favorite gig I've been to, like, musicianship-wise, I'm like, well, like, how the heck did you do that?
Yeah.
I think, like, my favorite gig was, I went to one, I think it was 1 or 2 years ago. His name's Nils Fram, or Neil Fram, whatever. He's a German musician, and basically he like mixes he's a pianist. He mixes classical with electronic. So like on the stage there was like 10 different keyboards and pianos, and like it's like modern classical, but with like an electronic twist. So like some ambience, some arpeggiators, like all this stuff. Like I was like, damn, like.
Shit, that's sick. That's awesome.
The recital center, so I just made it that much like better in that room. I think it was like recital center. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's sick.
Yeah. So obviously, as a keys player, like, you know, that was heaven for me, seeing that many keys on the stage.
Yeah. That's what. How old were you when you saw that? Like, was that high school or like?
It wasn't long ago. It was like we were in 2020. I think it was at the end of 2018, and I think it was one of those gigs. I started going on my own because I didn't know anyone that liked these people. Again, like I couldn't find, like none of my music friends like was into any of this.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, well, you know what? Like I like these people. I'm gonna start going. I want to go on my own. Like.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I wish I liked being on my own. I didn't like it. I wish I did, like, because I hear all these, like, experiences, like, oh, like, I go to these gigs on my own, like, I find myself, like, all this stuff.
Yeah.
Like, oh, like, I want to share this experience with someone, but...
Yeah,
you do.
No, that's cool. Yeah, I would like to start doing that. I mean, I was very lucky, like, most of the music that I was into, like, obviously, like, either, like, Tom loved or Luke loved, and so, like, I always found, like, someone, but, like, yeah, I would like to, like, go and gig by yourself would be really cool. I think my best, I think the craziest gig I think I've been to like was probably like Death Grips. I went and saw Death Grips 18, in like, I think it was St Kilda. I was very lucky. I think that they had 2 shows and they both sold out. And I was like there like a couple of weeks before, so like finally like making sure I like got it as soon as the tickets came out. But like, man, like it was so crazy because like it was just so weird because it was like you had like all your metal kids, and then like there's no like, I don't know, there probably is a scene for that kind of sound, but like it was just cool to see like just so many like metal kids, but then also like electronic kids and like everyone. And it was the hardest, like craziest mosh pit I've ever been to, hands down. I've been to a lot of metal shows, so I was like, whoa.
I don't think I've ever been to like, because I don't think I've been to a mosh pit where you do all those like metal things, like
yeah.
I've gotten a couple like back in Soundwave days when I went to Soundwave.
Yeah.
But yeah, my mosh pits don't contain that.
Yeah. But I'd love to like more shows where it's like where you kind of go to, I mean, you know, even like metal shows too, like I do go to just watch like some shows, like you pick and choose, like especially if there's like really skilled people on stage, you kind of go to just to watch, like, you know, I don't really hit the mosh pit or whatever.
Yeah.
But, like I would love to go to a show where it's like a little like, because I don't really go to chill shows very often, so like it'd be really cool to like kind of go to, like some of the stuff that you go to where it's just like you kind of go just to like really like watch what they're doing and stuff. Man, we gotta do that.
Fun, like I get what you mean. Like for me, I mean, I don't listen to much metal, nor do I go to metal gigs.
Yeah.
But they're like a bit more like I don't know, like punk. I'm so bad at genres.
Yeah. I mean, even Soundwave and stuff. That's cool. Like.
Yeah, like bands like you find at like stuff. You know, like your little like small bar gigs where you just kind of around. You know.
Yeah.
That like that's a different type of fun. Like I absolutely love those gigs. Like you get outside. It's a different experience than those gigs where you sit and you're like watching their musicianship, or you're like, you know, getting to whatever song it is. Like it's different. They're both amazing.
Yeah.
I suggest you have to go to a chill gig.
Yeah, I know. Man, I'm just trying to think of like. Oh, actually, I did. Go. I probably send them to you. I don't know. Do you know Kate Tempest? Do you know Kate Tempest? She's like she's like a really good. She was at the one of those fancy venues in. I think you were saying Alana played there.
Was it
Oh, maybe. Yeah, it was near the Arts Center. Oh, near the NGV, I think.
Yeah, so you've got like the Recital Center, you've got Hamer Hall, and you've got I think you got another one. I can't remember the name.
I think it was Hamer Hall. Yeah.
Hamer Hall's the one. Like, if you look, it's got all those weird, like the paneling on the walls is all different.
Yeah,
shapes, kind of.
yeah. That's it. Yeah. It's like really nice, so like acoustically treated and stuff. Yeah. I went and saw this Kate Tempest lady with Mum. That was very chill, but it was like one of those like, well, it wasn't chill. It was like pretty deep, but it was kind of like rapping, but then like it's also like kind of spoken wordy. Very cool. I think that was like I can't remember any other chill stuff I've gone to, which is really bad. But yes, no, 2021. Let me know when there's chill stuff going on, and I'll definitely hit that up. Do you think it's harder for someone who plays like, I guess, more chill or music or less like dancey music to make it in a local scene? Like, I don't know. That was, I always like wondered. I was like, man, because I don't know any, or I don't go out to see like if I was going out on a Saturday or a Friday, like I want to dance, but not to say that I wouldn't want to discover like some like really cool chill stuff, but like I just don't know like where to kind of go or where to find it. Like, do you think it's harder in a way? Like, I feel like people have to listen to a record before they, I don't know, but I could be wrong, but I mean, everyone's different.
Yeah, like I'm not the expert at this. I'm just going to only go from, you know, what I've experienced going to gigs. But a lot of the bits very genre specific. So like, if you think of like, these artists, you know, that I listen to, you know, modern classical, ambient type electronic.
Yeah.
It's very like, I don't know if you'd call it niche, but it's a bit different over there.
Yeah.
See, they play at the recital centers and things like that. Now, I don't know if that's because they're international artists and they have a big audience over here. So like they come once in every 2 years so they can fill that out.
Yeah.
But also I wouldn't see them playing at like, say, Festival Hall, which did you hear today what happened?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I saw you shared it. Yeah. So like, is it a thing anymore? Like, does it not, is it still are they still gonna play shows? Like,
so a couple of years ago, they were gonna sell it because I think the owner was saying like they weren't making much money.
I do remember that happening. Yeah.
And like someone's like, oh, you know, we're gonna build like high rises on it, but then everyone came together and said like no, and then
no.
they inherited it, so they couldn't build on there. However, it's now been sold to Hillsong. I think they've known that for like a year and a half now. And so, so what I was reading is like they're still going to have it open for gigs, but every Sunday it's the Lord's house or something like that.
Oh, shit.
I mean, I have no problem with Hillsong using the venue to do their Hillsong things. Like, no problem. Anyone can use it. It's public space, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about them owning it. I just have a feeling like just eventually, you know, those days of the week, it just kind of gets smaller and smaller and more things will be, you know, Hillsong rather than just Sunday.
And I was worried too, like if there's like, I don't know, like, especially like punk stuff and whatever, I guess it's kind of like a rebellious thing, and like I hope like it doesn't be like, oh, like, you know, we're not really a fan of like that genre or whatever, so we're not gonna, because I mean I saw a lot of like hard stuff, I mean Soho and like the Bronx and that kind of stuff, so like I hope they're oh we might have gone to the same, was that the Halloween one? I think it was Halloween.
Yeah, it was in October because I went a day before my Year 12 math exam.
Oh shit. Nice, that's very responsible.
2016, I think.
Oh, dope. Oh shit. Oh, that's. I think that might have. Yeah, I was probably the same.
October.
I think I was in year 12. Yeah, I was in year 12.
11? You're 11? Maybe.
Maybe.
What year did you?
I was definitely. I think it was definitely year 12. Did the Bronx open for them? That they had like all like dress up.
I think so. Because
it's like a bald dude.
Yeah, I've seen them once live, and I can't think of another place I would have saw them. So I'm thinking it was there.
Maybe I was in year 11. I don't know. Must have been year 11. Yeah, shit. I don't know. But yeah. Oh man. But yeah, I just hope it doesn't like. It is a bit spooky. Like I hope they don't.
Yeah, I'm a bit worried about them. But get back into that. Yeah. So a very genre specific to where you're gonna play and the audience you'll have. So. I mean, obviously, your punk bands and stuff, I don't see them at those venues. So to make it in the different scenes, it's hard. Like, your audience is very specific. Like, I feel like if you're at, like, the Tote or something, right, like, they have, you know, a plethora of different bands. They're usually the same kind of genre, but they are different ones there. Yeah. But, you know, that's like an equal playing field. Like, you can go and you can see new bands. Like, you just go out for a night. You don't know who's playing. You go there. You find a new band, you get new fans, whatever.
Yeah.
But those specific genres that won't fit into the Tote, I don't know where their little venues are. Like, where are their venues that new artists go to? I've only seen venues that established and well-known artists go to. So, like, in the case of, like, those, you know, classical, when I say classical, I'm not talking like Beethoven and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's like, but yeah, like modern classical electronic artists.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I'm ignorant or naive. I've just never seen them at the smaller places that I go to. So I just don't know where they start, in all honesty. I don't know.
Definitely. Like, I mean, I thought that the TOF maybe, but that's more of an R&B thing. I don't know if you've ever been to the TOF. It's like,
I played at the TOF. Definitely, wasn't R&B.
Yeah. Oh, really? Oh, shit.
Yeah, I played at the TOF. It's not fun to get your 88 key keyboard up
those stairs. Oh, shit. Yeah.
There was an elevator from memory, but it didn't help. I can't remember the exact layout. only been there once, so I
Yeah.
just remember it.
Oh shit. Yeah, because I remember we played there, like Lazy Lips played there, and I was like, oh fuck, like kind of like it's not it's a very pug venue. I remember we first in year 12, because Lazy Lips had just kind of become a thing, and I was working at a record store, and the guy from there was kind of teaching me how to organize gigs. And I literally emailed, like, I Googled like small Melbourne venues. And I think like 5 or 6 venues. I just fucking emailed them all, and they were one of. I didn't even check. Like, I just emailed them all. And yeah, well, it was weird when we played that. I was like, oh shit, like I feel like we don't really like this is very fancy, and we're not very fancy. It's really cool. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, because I don't think I've ever been to a gig there, to be honest. So I don't even know like the demographics, like what type of gigs they do. So maybe it is mainly R&B. I know, like, what's the venues at Colour? You know the venue Colour? I think, is it named Colour?
Oh no, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like they're very genre specific as well. And then we ended up playing there. I'm like, what are we doing here? Like, it's
yeah. No, oh, that's sick. Yeah, because I'll have to go check it out more. I just got an R&B vibe, but I mean, I could be totally wrong. But yeah, I totally get what you mean about. Yeah, no, literally neither do I. Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, yeah, I have to do some research or something. Because I would really like to like find like local artists because I know what I mean. Like, it just seems like that kind of niche like already has like a big following. Like,
see startup artists.
Yeah, man.
Well, maybe I'm in the wrong spots. Maybe there's so many and I just keep missing them.
Yeah, I mean, I guess because it is quite a niche thing. Like, I mean, because I don't really know many people who know of just local artists anyway. Like local artists who are like quite small anyway. So maybe if I like track down some like local stuff that's like that, do some research.
Yeah, it's only 21. I'm gonna like write every venue down, like tick them all off, and yeah, see which one's the best.
Yeah, shit. I can't believe about Festival Hall. That's so crazy. Because I literally like I remember when I first started working at like JPJ, like that was my first like venue there, because we'd go out and like do load-ins and load-outs and stuff, and I went in there and like it was so weird because like no one's there, and I stood on stage like I'm gonna play here one day with there's lots of people, but oh man, it's so crazy to think like, wow, it's not that like the people don't own it anymore. It's weird they're not getting that much money too, because like the artists they had there when COVID was around, like they seem to be selling out, like because they had like heaps of big bands.
Every time I'd been to a gig at Festival Hall, always sold out.
Yeah.
I don't know if they either weren't booking enough gigs, or maybe I was gonna say maintenance would cost a lot, but what maintenance to be honest?
Yeah. I mean, I guess it would cost a bit, like with the audio stuff. I mean, I think they had a little bit of in-house stuff, but most of the time, like we would load in because each show is like different. Like that, you'd have like a completely different like speaker layout and all that stuff. And I guess that probably would have costed a bit of money. But even so, like I don't know how much. It's like, is it 10,000 people there? I don't know, something crazy like that. Probably more. Yeah. Oh, damn it. But the toad's still around. The toad's still there. What's that?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, you're like, oh, one day I'll play here, whatever. You know what? Like, those days come up so unexpected. You're like, wait, what the hell? Like, I'm playing at XYZ venue. You're like, how did that happen?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Man, hopefully 2021 is the year for us. It's gonna happen.
Yeah. I mean, do you have a dream venue? Like, what's your dream venue to play at?
Ooh, that's really tough. Damn, you ask good questions. I'm gonna fire back the same question for you after this.
Summer and podcast.
Oh yeah. I haven't seen many bands play at the Forum, but like I would love to play at the Forum. I reckon that'd be like really cool. Or Oh, actually, a really good one be the Palais in St Kilda. I did some like load in stuff for like JPJ there, and like it was really cool. And I know like I don't know if you know the band Butterfly Effect. They're like a proggy band. They played
Yeah,
there. I was like, oh my god, they're so sick. But it's just such a cool room. Yeah, probably. What about you? Like, what's your favorite or your dream venue?
Yeah, I've got to have Forum up there as well.
Yeah.
The Forum is a beautiful venue, but yeah, since I heard that they you don't get paid a lot to play there at all.
Yeah.
You get paid more at the Tote, to be honest. Yeah.
What?
As a support act, I don't know about if you headline there, but
yeah, I wonder who organizes that. Like whether it's like the managers of
I don't know who
whoever or
but probably there or
it's tough.
I can't think of any more like. Oh, I guess I've got to do the corner. I haven't played at the corner, so like.
Yeah.
I think it'll be once I see that pole in front of me. And
yeah. That's a good one. Yeah, good. Yeah.
Otherwise, gigs like I would have wanted to play at Northcote, Corona, and what's the other one, Howler. But because I've ticked those up, I've got to move on.
Yeah. Oh, what was it like playing at like the corner? Because that was my first over 18 show. Like.
Not the corner. I didn't play the corner.
I was good. I was gonna say. I was like, whoa, that's sick.
So I played like the Howler, Northcote Social, and Corona. Corona is just like that one in Ballarat. It's nothing big, but like. It's such like, we're going to Corona. Like,
it's probably not so good now. They might have to change their name after this whole pandemic.
Corona. Wait, Corona, not Corona. What am I? Oh my
god. No, that's cool. I'll have to check that out. Because does Ballarat have like much of it, like a scene? Like, is it? Yeah.
So they have Corova, which I think was sold, but then it's still a venue. I actually haven't looked into it. And they have the Eastern as well. And I don't know if they have a third venue, but yeah, they're the two. Like if you do regional gigs and you want to go play in Ballarat, they're like the two bars you'd go and play at.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, the Eastern's they're small, like, but the Eastern just has like a place in my heart too. It's just like all your mates are there, like it's just
that's so cool.
Just having fun, but yeah, Corova I played with do you know Trophy Eyes?
Oh yeah, you did. Oh my gosh, I remember that happening. I was like, holy shit, Charlene's fucking famous right now.
I still reckon they stuffed up and didn't actually need to book us.
No, That's so rad though. Well, that would have been such a cool experience. Like, did you get to meet Trophy Eyes? Like, did you like?
Well, that's the thing. Like, so us and there was another support band. I actually don't know. I can't remember who it was. But our first gig was Geelong. Was it? Which one was first? I know we played in Geelong and we played in Ballarat, Corova. So we did their regional shows. And I don't think like they even introduced themselves to the other band. Like, not even a hello, thank you for playing with us. Oh my god, I'm dissing Trophy Eyes. But,
that's fine.
On the second gig, I'm like, you know what? Like, I'm just gonna go like say hello. Like, I don't know. It feels weird. Yeah, someone's gig and I don't know who these people are. And I think they just finished their set or something, and I went to go get my gear from the side stage. And I'm pretty sure it's the lead vocalist. I don't know. I don't actually call it
That's fine.
He was just sitting there like having a drink, like wiping his sweat after a set. I'm like, oh, good job, mate. Like, that was really good. He's like, thanks. And that was legit the only contact my whole band had with any of them.
Oh shit! Oh wow! That's really crazy. That's such a weird experience too. Like, that's so strange.
I hate the Trophy. I'm sure y'all are good people.
Yeah, but I mean, it probably wasn't like it must have probably been like the band bookers probably didn't.
Yeah, for sure. That's why I think like because the band used to be, it had a name before I was in it. So this is the other project. It had a name and then it transitioned into the name it was. I'm not going to say the name.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, it transitioned into the other name. But when we went there the first day, on the door, they'd written the old name, but they didn't even get the old name right. They wrote it slightly different, and that difference was the name of another band.
Oh no.
But, so we're like, did they meant to get the other band? But then we looked up the other band, and that wasn't even like pop punk either. It was like, I don't know, it was like folky, I think. So I'm like, who are you trying to book here? Like, I'm so confused. And even in the emails, like, we corrected them, like, this is our name, whatever. No, it's still on the door. Like, we're like, okay, cool.
Oh, really? Wow. That's really bad too, because it's like, I mean, especially, I mean, you get like your band trying to get yourselves out there, like that kind of sucks too, because people probably dig you. I'm sure a lot of people probably dug your band. They're like, oh, sick, and then they'll go to Spotify afterwards, and they'll be like, oh, I can't find it.
I think that was one of our first gigs with our first official name. So I think, like, although it was you know, a band like Trophy Eyes, that wasn't our target audience anyway, and so you know, we weren't even going to accept it at one point because we're like, do we want to play this? Like, this isn't our genre.
Yeah.
It's our scene.
Yeah.
But well, let's do it. It's gonna be fun. Like, so
goofing a gap. Yeah. That'd be like, I just can't imagine that. I mean, Laser's had similar things too, where like we'll play for like really chill like bands. A lot of the youth stuff, like, I mean, youth stuff was great, but like a lot of other like local stuff was like really like chill and acoustic acts, and then we would go on and it was like, you guys asked for this, you booked us, this is your fault. Like, but it was great.
Wait, so I've been to a couple of your gigs. I can't remember, but there was one gig where, wow, where was it? Was it Bendigo Hotel? Where I remember the sound took ages to get right. Was it Ben? I don't know if you remember.
Yeah, maybe.
You played, is it Earl Grey? No.
Earl Grey Breakfast Tea?
The trumpet player.
Oh, Fair Trade Narcotics, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, they were playing. I don't know if they played before or after.
Oh,
but my so there was like, and then you've got Laser Lips, and then there was someone else. I can't remember who.
I think it was Des, us, Des, like I think it was. Yeah.
I think it was Des.
Good times. I remember that. Yeah. Oh, true. That was fun though. It was a cool crowd, I guess. So.
Yeah, I mean, that happens all the time with staff bands as well. Like, I remember we played one for someone. We were an opening act, and the other opening act was a singer-songwriter solo guy, you know, singing his heart out, ballads on a guitar, and we're just like, come on next with like this 80s type, you know, new wave stuff.
Oh no! Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
That's exciting though, because then you discover so many bands, you know, when you just go to like the Tote or something, it's fun. Yeah,
100%. Oh, that's cool. When did you, is it a little bit off topic, I suppose, but yeah, when did you want to, I guess, like, when was like the moment you were like, oh, like, I want to do piano or like music full time? Was it like in high school you were like, man, I want to do this like forever?
So like when I grew up, I was kind of like, I'm not going to use the word forced, but highly encouraged to play piano. And I remember because of that, naturally, I resented it because I'm like, oh, you want me to do this? Like, well, guess what? I don't want to do it. When I was around 14 or 15, I did stop playing, but then about a year and a half later, I'm like, I want to go back, please. So I went back to lessons. And so it's tough. Like, I feel like growing up through high school, like I was a very, what's the word? Like, what's the word for, you know, you just want to follow the path. You want to take risks. You just want to do what's safe. That was very me.
Yeah.
There's a word for it.
Not be like everyone else, but like be, I think I know what you mean.
Yeah, I can't think of the word, my brains are working, but
we'll just say safe.
And so the thought of like doing music or like doing music ever, that wasn't on the cards. Like, it didn't. There's no stability. You know, where's the money at? Like, you know, that wasn't as much as I wanted to do it. I was just realistic. I was trying to be realistic.
Yeah.
And so yeah, like I started, like my first course out, I was going to do high school teaching, but you know, I was majoring in music, and they had no prac in their course. I'm like, how am I going to teach someone to play an instrument if I don't even know how to play that instrument, like at a tertiary level, right? So then I went to arts, and then I did audio.
Yeah.
And then I come out with the diploma, and then I'm like, you know what, like I felt like I was beating around the bush. Like I knew, like I was trying to do everything around piano and like playing, like actually learning the instrument. I was doing it around, so I was like teaching or doing audio, and I was just like, I'm just not. It's right there in front of me. I just bite the bullet. And so so now at the moment, like my current degree in music, like I'm actually working on getting good at piano, and not just like doing it as a side thing. And so I think, like, I guess deciding that, I feel like I would have never decided that if I didn't do all those gigs on the side. Like, I feel like if I didn't have performance experience, that I wouldn't have taken that step. I don't know, like.
Yeah.
I just bit the bullet and just did it, and
that's really awesome.
In my life.
That's so cool. Because I was gonna say too, like, did you ever, when you did audio, were you like, oh, like maybe I'll be able to do teaching, like, or this could be an avenue for teaching, or was like, oh, like, did you kind of like interested in doing live music for a while, or?
You know what? I went into that course not knowing anything. Like, I was very there was a big gap. I didn't know anything about audio. I didn't know anything about mixing, whatever. Like, never even opened Pro Tools. I just knew that was a gap, and I knew. Yeah, I needed to fill that gap, and so that course was very overwhelming because there was all this stuff thrown at you. I remember at first, one of the first lessons in the first weeks, you would have been there with Paul. One of the theory classes, but it was like basic theory, and the first lesson was like really hard.
Yeah, I got so scared.
Well, I got so scared. He's like pulling out this like these equations. I'm like, bro, this is lesson number one. Like,
it's all I know is phantom power. Just tell me more about that. 100%.
And I can't remember the question, but
no, you answer. I was gonna say like, did you ever get curious about like, because like doing audio, like, did you do that as like a more of a teaching thing, or it'd be like, oh, I might be able to get into teaching through this, or was it kind of like you're like curious about live music?
When I went to audio, I wasn't thinking about going back to teaching. Like, I was still teaching, like as my job, but like as in when I say going back to teaching, I mean planning to do it like full time at a school. You know, I thought, you know, audio might be the thing. I wasn't sure then. Like I knew I kind of ticked teaching off. But then I've come back to it. I think it's like if I didn't have this such like anxious need to like have some sort of stability, because as you know, like music's not stable in any way.
It's definitely not safe. I agree.
And so I still needed some sort of stability in my life. So I think I've had to I have to find that balance. So knowing that I'm gonna eventually you know, teach as my job, I'll have the stability there. But also I'll be able to do the unstable things, but the fun creative things, like, you know, writing stuff, going to gigs, like, I'm trying to build that balance. And that's where I'm at, you know, 2 years time, who knows what I'm doing.
That's super smart, because like, I was like that. I mean, I haven't really, well, I'm kind of a bit like that. Like I would like to, having a stable lifestyle was definitely healthy and good. But I remember when I started at like, especially like JPJ, and I was like, oh, you know, like I'll get in full time here and it'll be sweet. But a lot of the people, like, they're casual, and everyone still ends up kind of working full time, but it's like through like 3 different companies. And I was like, oh fuck, like, isn't that like worrying? Like, you know, I mean, you're working 5 days a week, but like, you know, anything could happen or whatever. and people just made it work. And I was like, well, you know, if you love it, like it doesn't really matter.
It totally works for some people. There's people out there, that like juggle like multiple music gigs, you know, whether you're freelancing or you're casual or whatever.
Yeah.
Props to them. Like, I'd love to be able to do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've learned, especially the last couple of years, that's not going to work for me. I'm too much of an anxious person. I learned that through like, gigging and call outs at the same time. Like, I remember this moment where I'm sitting there like, all right, like I'm about to pursue this. I got to accept the fact that, you know, I'm going to go down this path and it's a path of no stability. Yeah. And in the end, that bit me on the butt because I learned I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
So if you can do it, for sure, go ahead. But I need some sort of stability there. So I think, at this point, just still making that balance work for me.
Yeah, that's really good. Man, I need to just take that advice. I don't know, but I guess my theory was like, I was like, well, like I guess like once I finish this album thing, like I'll try and get like a full-time job that I kind of like enjoy or whatever. But it's hard though, like even especially like with music stuff at the moment to get anything that's like, I mean, like I guess is teaching pretty, has that kind of been pretty safe, or like have you been impacted much? Yeah.
Well, so I work at a high school, but I'm contracted, so obviously I don't have a teaching degree yet. And so, you know, the last few months when schools were closed, normal teachers could keep teaching through Zoom, of course. And some teachers, some instrumental teachers at other schools could teach their lessons through Zoom as well. I don't think my school allowed it. I think they didn't want us instrumental teachers to teach by Zoom. And I'm not sure exactly why that is. I think there was a bit of just concerns about, you know, the one-on-one nature of being on a video call with a student, which I understand, but also it's frustrating because, like, you know, I can provide a video. You know how like you have these Zoom things and stuff.
Yeah, because you did kill a job. Like when you were teaching me like theory and piano, it's like you got to working with children, check. That's weird that's like that.
I mean, I understand, but at the same time, I wish they could make it work. So for me, I ended up just being able to make like a few tutorial videos. They're like, all right, we'll pay you this amount of money to make these amount of tutorial videos. Mind you, that was a quarter of what I would usually make, so it was not that much.
Still a loss,
Yeah, but if I was a fully, if I was a classroom teacher, I would have been fine. Apart from the stress, like I can't imagine how much stress I'd be going through constantly, changing from online to offline, whatever.
No, 100%. Like, I was having a look at, because I emailed, I was kind of like interested in doing like more of the techie side of like audio, like building like microphones or like repairing stuff, whatever. And I emailed like JPJ like the other day. I was like, hey, like you guys looking for anything? And like, they're like, oh, you know, like we're kind of like struggling at the moment. Like it's kind of hard to, like, I was like, hey, I'll intern. Like, I don't care. But I think like, even though like, cause there's nothing on, like, it's kind of hard to do it. But I was like, man, like it's so hard. Like, cause it's literally like nothing for like, and it worried me too. Cause I was like, man, like what are people who come out of call arts and stuff with audio degrees, and like, it'll probably obviously get better next year with COVID stops and stuff. But I'm like, man, like,
all those people coming out of, you know, the degree we did. Wow.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, fuck. Like,
oh, no.
Yeah. But I mean, not to say like there's not, like, I did find it, there's a few like corporate stuff where you can go and, like you go in, I think there's a couple I'm applying for at the moment where you go into like malls and like big rooms and you like set up, they teach how to like wire everything up and whatever. But, as far as like live music and stuff goes, hopefully it all sorts itself out. I'm just like you, like I just want a safe career, but like in the arts. But it's so hard.
That sentence doesn't exist. For a safe career in the arts.
Yeah. 100%. No, I wish.
You know how like the government, they're like, oh, we have this I don't know the exact name of this arts. Live.
Yeah, was that that famous Australian dude? On
can't remember
X
his name
Factor or
now.
something. Yeah. These battle stars. Is that one? That guy.
Sebastian.
Yeah. I think he did something with ScoMo about there was something. Yeah.
Yeah. So because they promised a $350 $350.
Yeah. That'll save the music industry.
That's my lifetime of earning.
Yeah.
$250 million relief pack for Melbourne. I think it was entertainment. And yeah, I saw the other day that they'd only given away about 50 million so far. They've only allocated 50 million, and that all went to film.
Yeah, I read the same thing. I was just about to say, yeah. That's like super dope. Well, because I read an article that Guy Sebastian was like had tried to email like some of the political people and be like, hey, like what's the deal? And yeah, like that he hasn't like heard anything and stuff. It's so sus. Like it's like, come on.
And the thing is, like those venues needed it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. They might have got rent relief from, I think, like.
Yeah, I think the smaller ones, like I know the Toad. I think Daniel Andrews. I almost forgot his name. I think he put up like a list of like venues a little while back of like the smaller ones. But even then, like that's not all the venues in Melbourne. You know, like there's still a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that list. I don't know if that's who they were planning to give stuff to. That's who's getting rent relief. I don't know what that list was. I can't remember.
But even so, like that's not even artists. Like that's just venues. Like man, imagine like artists and stuff. Like they wouldn't be getting anything.
Yeah, all the audio people, all the
yeah.
You know.
That was one of the
managers.
things with us too. Like then we're not eligible. I mean, casual people, which I mean, a lot of people are casual. Like no one's eligible for that stuff because it's obviously like week to week earning.
Well, yeah, I remember. Like I've always had that trouble with Centrelink, and yeah, it's been emphasized this year because of all like musicians and artists needing money. But yeah, when I used to go, like I'd make money via teaching, or I'd make money. Well, actually, yeah, just via teaching.
Yeah.
You'd have to log into Centrelink, and it's always like, all right, like how many hours have you worked in this fortnight, and you know how much money did you make for those hours, and like to calculate all this freelance work that you do, it doesn't fit in the mold. It's very like 9 to 5 mold, and so all the musicians and stuff that went to Centrelink. When everything started locking down, like they had to. There's nothing there, like and so
that'd be so tough too, because it's like people say like oh cool, you got like $100 for like a 3-hour gig, but then it's like dude, like the amount of practice you'd have to do beforehand, like you can't put that in, like, and that'd be hard. Wow. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, there was always like a weird thing. I feel like even before COVID, when people were like, oh, like man, musicians must be like raking it in, like man, like $300 or $400 like a night, and it's like yeah, but like think of all like the other money, like.
And you see all these, even non-musicians maybe, but when you look at people that go on the big stages, like the Forum and stuff, I would expect like wow, like they'd be getting good money.
Yeah.
$40.
What? Wow, Jesus, that's so bad.
That might be a one-off, but the fact that it's a one-off bill, like.
Still, that's so like. I mean, like literally, like Freezer paid more than that. Like little like youth stuff, like they pay more than that. Like that's
I remember,
wow.
Yeah, I did a front bar gig at, I don't know what, to be honest, I forgot the venue, just a small bar. And that front bar gig, what they do is like they get a band, I think, on their weekend. So we were booked for that day, and like it was so much money. Like they put aside like, I don't know how much it would have been split, but it would have been like maybe $300-400 for the band. So that was split between the members.
Nice.
But, like,
yeah.
That was like the most I've ever been paid for a gig.
That I was gonna say, like that seems like that. Whoo, that's gas money and a guitar cable. That's awesome.
And that's where like when people say like, oh, like for the case of like maybe a wedding singer or something, like, oh, you're selling out, you're playing covers, blah blah blah. I'm like, no, like this is where the money is. You can,
Yeah.
you know, I really do both. I need to eat and I want to play my stuff. So I'm gonna cover K-San a few times, you know?
Yeah, 100%. Oh yeah, it's such a weird. It's weird. It's such a backwards thing. I remember I was watching I don't know if you've heard. I talk about him sometimes. This guy like Jordan Peterson. He's like a clinical psychologist from like Canada, and he's like really fucking smart. But he was talking about he does like these like he puts these like lectures up online, and I think he worked at Harvard for a while. But he was saying like he was like, oh, you know, not everyone's creative. Like that's like it's been like clinically shown and stuff. And he's like, some are obviously more creative than others and whatever. But he said he was like, you know, like being like, because everyone's like loves the idea of being creative and stuff. He's like, you know, like you got to respect creative people because like they'll make the coolest stuff, and if they're not creative, like they'll just like be sad and depresso. And he was like, you know, like they don't live like it's a very like hard life, like because it's unstable and stuff, but also like obviously super rewarding because you're making stuff. But he was like don't don't diss creative people because they have like everyone. It's like don't be so
Dismissive, you reckon?
yeah, well, I guess he said like, you know, don't be so sad if you're not a creative person because like, you know, if you are, it's like it's great, but it's not easy. Yeah. I like, to be honest, like, I'd much rather be creative than not creative, but at the same time, it's like, you know, you're gonna have to work pretty hard for it.
I think I've thought about this a lot because, and again, I'm not very good at articulating these kind of things, so I just like a bit of word vomit. But for me, like, I just look back when I was a kid and like I used to draw all the time. I used to read all the time. Kids are much more creative. I think everyone would agree. And then as you start growing up, you start putting up this wall. And some people knock it down or they don't put it up and they stay creative. And that's amazing. Props to them. For me, that wall is still very much up. And, you know, I'm trying my best to knock it down. But the thing is, to knock it down is to feel everything like tenfold. Like, I think to be a creative person, you have to feel all the emotions times 10, like whether it's happiness or whether it's sadness, anger, whatever. And that explains so much about like, you know, mental health rates and stuff with artists. There is money, of course, you know, financial issues, but you have to stay open to create. As soon as you close, nothing's going to come out. And so I've been struggling with, again, like trying to balance knocking down that wall, but also being able to function.
That's such an interesting point. Like that's a very I didn't even think about it that way. Like that, that's a true thing. Do you think like you're becoming better now than you were in high school? Because I mean, I don't know, high school, I mean, for me anyway, it was like harder to be, I guess, vulnerable creatively too, but like you're like, oh, like, yeah, I guess like hard to be vulnerable. But do you think it's like you're getting better at it, or it's easier for you now to make things, or like, you know, than before maybe?
I think I'm getting better, but I'm nowhere near where I hope to be. I think I still struggle with the fact that it sounds cliche, but just knowing who you are, right? So especially with like something like social media or putting out, say, an album or whatever, I still have this fear in me that I'm hoping will go away soon. That I put something out or portray myself a certain way, then that's set and I can't change because that's what people expect from me. And I'm really trying my best to get rid of that mindset because I also know that people change all the time. Like their whole life, they can change. We're always growing, but for some reason I can't, I don't know, I can't accept that for myself. It's like as soon as I put myself out, like I have to know who I am and that's who I am, but it's not.
That's such an interesting thing. Fuck, like I didn't even think about it that way. Like that's so like it kind of makes sense too. Like, I mean, thinking back on like, I don't know, when I was in like high school and even like, I don't know, before like I've gone through like so many like, oh, I want to make this genre, I want to make this genre, and then I'm like, oh, like I don't, like I kind of like don't feel like I fit in this or whatever. But then now, fuck. Oh, that's some Spitting. Oh man, that's some good shit. Yeah,
and
wow.
that's also something, hindering me from, writing or releasing anything myself is like, I have this need to, for it to be perfect, even though no one's first single is perfect. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That perfection's such a 100%. I remember when I wrote my first, I guess, like somewhat proper song for this project thing. I wrote it all in one night, and I was like, "Oh, this sounds like fucking sick." And then like the rest of them, it's like I was taken longer on them, but then like they don't sound as good as that. But then it's like that whole thing. I was like, "Oh, like I'm gonna take my time on this because I want it to be perfect." But then at the same time, it's like, well, that took me like nothing, and it's like perfect. So like, why? Like it's such a weird thing.
It's like the harder you try, like the more you don't like it.
Yeah, and it's like going with your gut feeling too. Like it's 100%. Yeah, shit. What about you? Has your I get like idea change of like what you eventually like wanted to make, or like do you have like a clear idea of what you want, like I guess you want Lion's music to be, or is it more like like you'll kind of find out when you get there, or is that a problem, like I guess being
Wait, do you mean like making music project wise, or
or like just yourself, like did like do you, like when you kind of go into starting it, like are you worried about like I guess like putting it down and not really having it be like how you really feel or whatever, like or is it kind of like is it
I go to this one. I think at this point, like I sat down the other day and I made some loops for uni for something else.
Yeah.
And because I didn't care about them, they came out quicker and they came out all right. Like they didn't sound bad. That's pretty good. So I know like I have the ability to create, right?
Yeah.
I think.
It's a tough one. I really put you on the spot here.
Like the more that I care and I show that I care puts more pressure. Like, so those things that I wrote the other day, I didn't care about them. So if no one liked them, didn't matter. But because, whatever I make for a project that's my own or in a duo or whatever, like what I'm going to make, if I release it, it's like, that's my best piece of work. Like I've made this, I think it's worthy of releasing it for people to listen to. Here you go. And if people listen to it and it's shite, then you're only as good as your last performance, but project in this case, album. So I don't know. I have that. I need to get over it because if I don't get over it, nothing's ever gonna happen. So I know that's a thing to get over, but it's hard.
I'm glad, I'm like kind of like not the only one too, because like, and it's weird, like if I don't, I guess like if I'll have like a break or whatever of like doing my own thing, I'll be like, oh, like I can't create or whatever, and then like the fear sets in, and you're like, oh, like. It's definitely happened over COVID. It's like definitely made it a thing, but it's like, oh, like why am I not making like the coolest shit and spending all my time on this? Like I have so much time in my hands, but then it's like then it's that other mindset of like, oh, it's like, oh, I can't, but it's like, no, I can. Do you think like you'll always be in that mindset though? Like each project you make, like oh, like it has to be better than last, or I guess it's something you probably have to face anyway to keep making stuff. But
I think because I've always been like that as a person, and I feel like it's something that I'm actively trying to I wouldn't say suppress because I don't think it's innate. I think you kind of those fears and self-doubt and all that, it builds up over time. So I don't think I was born with that. It feels like I've had it forever, but I don't think I was born with it. So I'm trying with all my might to kick that wall down. It comes down every now and then until it goes straight back up the next day. But,
yeah.
If I feel like that forever, I think. Yes and no. And what I mean by that is I can see if I look back maybe 2 years, I have slowly gotten, I've allowed myself to be more creative than say 2 years ago, even 1 year ago, even 6 months ago.
Yeah.
But it's a very slow progress, and if I'll ever get to where I want to be, that I don't know, but I do know that I will get better.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's awesome. Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
And I'm trying to do like creative things. If you've got any like creative exercises to do, holler at me. Like I'm trying to like draw. I'm trying to do other creative things as well to knock that wall down.
Yeah. No, because how do you go with like lyric writing? That was a big thing for me, because like for a long time I was like, oh, this is so cheesy or whatever. But then like I guess I kind of did it a bit more. I was like, oh, this is like actually fine. Like you did.
Yeah, I struggle with that too. Like I hear some bands out there, and I'm like, this is pure cheese. Like
yeah, yeah.
It works. Like the song's good. Like I'm like, okay, if they can use like cheesy lyrics, why can't I use cheesy lyrics? But then when I use cheesy lyrics, I don't like it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, for me, like, I think, to be honest, to write lyrics, people just can do it naturally. For some reason, as soon as I go to write it down, my vocabulary like cuts in half, and I end up writing like
yeah.
So, yeah, I found two styles that I kind of like styles of lyric writing. I don't know.
Yeah.
One of them is very short, descriptive words. So like, I don't know how to explain it. Oh my gosh, it's so hard. Yeah, like one of my favorite artists, as I say again, like Rai X, like use very nice sounding adjectives, but in like very short phrases a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And I think like that's straight to the point, and it just sounds amazing. But then I also like the super like basic like a sentence that just says what it is. There's no fanciness in there. Like this happened, and I don't know why it just works sometimes, and I'm trying to find how to do that myself.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I just find lyrics.
No, 100%, because I'm a bit like similar thing. Like I'm the opposite. Like I'll be really straightforward, but then I want to get like fancy with it and like do some cool rhymes and like cool shit like that. But it's weird. I guess the way I do it is I have like a journal, whatever, and I'll be like, this sucks about my day or whatever's going on or whatever, and I'll write about it, and then I'll kind of go to like whatever riff I'm doing, and I'll be like, all right, like I guess like I'll find like to try and make a chorus, be like, all right, well, like what is this whole, if I had to sum up this whole song in like a sentence or something, I'll like try and do that and then make that. But it's hard. Like that's really cool that you could be like, you can make it all fancy and shit, because I'm really bad at making it fancy. I just like,
I really want
to, yeah. But yeah, I really want to get fancy with it. But I mean, I guess that takes practice. Yeah. Because who are some of your favorite? Yeah, eventually. Who are you find some of your favorite songwriters? Like who that kind of, I guess, yeah. I guess for more lyrics, like lyrics specifically.
Yeah, ooh, that's a hard question.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, IX again. I like his descriptive language. Obviously, like Leonard Cohen. Like, how do you go past Leonard Cohen?
Yeah.
Tom York sometimes. Yeah. Who else?
Have you heard of Scoobius? Is it Scoobius Pip? That guy is like he's like a spoken word dude. I'll send him to you. It's really good.
I haven't listened to that spoken word.
I'll check it out. I'm not much of a spoken word guy either, but like when they have like weird rap beats and like cool shit underneath it, like it's, oh my god, it's so good. Because who's that really cool artist? I think you went and saw them live. I think you talked about it. They did that song recently. It was like Subaru Crosstrek. He's like, I got a Subaru Crosstrek. And it's like all of his stuff's like about like love too. Like
spoken word artist.
Yeah, kind of. He's like I think it's called Scones. He's like, I love Scone. That's it. Yeah, Hobo Johnson. Yeah.
No, I didn't outwardly go to see him because I don't know much of his stuff. I only know like the viral videos. They're pretty good. I don't know what it says. Like, they're good. I don't mind them.
Yeah.
But I've seen him. I think I just finished my shift at Falls when I did the audio backstage.
That's cool.
And he was the next artist on, or I was going on and he was, I don't know, but I just missed him. But yeah, I came out and he was playing. I was like, oh yeah, my shift's finished.
Oh shit!
You know, it's pretty good.
Oh, what was that whole experience like? That would have been sick.
What, working there?
Yeah, like working at Falls, like.
Look, good and bad. I think the good part, obviously, like, amazing. I got to go backstage at, like, you know, a huge festival for Australia. I got to see how it works, like just the simple operations, like building the risers and taking them out, and then like how it flows, right? You can't get that anywhere else besides if you're back. But it was just for me personally, in that time period, I was not very well myself. Being the immense amount of stress, just not like learning and having to work there, plus Falls like no reception, so I'm stuck like in the campsite, couldn't go anywhere, like I didn't know anyone, couldn't call anyone, and it, like in another time, like that would have been fine, but just how I was at that time, I didn't have a call, I couldn't escape anywhere,
Wow.
and so that was a hard experience for me, but at the same time I can appreciate it was a mad opportunity as well, so I'm trying to take both.
Take it in, Because did you get to, so that they pretty much like, hey, you have to stay in the campsite? Like, did you get to go out? I mean, I suppose it would have been hard too because you don't really know anyone to go see the bands with.
So because when I went, it was me, Denzel went.
Denzel. Did Callum go? Maybe.
So it was just me and Denzel from our intake, and then there was one or two other audio people. Two. There was Reese and I can't remember the other guy's name, but so the only person I knew was Denzel, but like I didn't know him that well. Like just you know, when I see him at uni, I didn't know anyone else, and so I couldn't leave because I think I went. Yeah, Denzel took me up there. And because you're packed in the campsite, you can't move until the festival's over. You can't get your car out. So I was stuck with coupled with like the responsibility at the time where like I didn't want to not show up for a shift, even though you don't do much anyway. But still, like, I didn't want to let the uni down. I didn't want to kick up a fuss. Like, so there was all these things in my head, like, you have to do this, like, keep going. But then the outside's like, I need to escape. Like, oh my God.
Far out. Wow. No, wow. Wow, man. It sounds like a wild experience. Yeah, shit. That would be pretty spooky if you don't really know too many people either. Like, what's that?
I didn't know anyone, and there was no place to escape, like just for a moment on your own either. Like I needed to compose myself a lot of the time, breathe a little bit, you know, have a lot of panic attacks and things like that. There was no place to do that. The only place I could be on my own was like in my swag. So I remember go to bed super early when I could because that was the only place I could just be on my own. And oh my God, this sounds really depressing.
No, that's all right. No, like that's cool that you're talking about it. Wow, that must have been like, hectic. Wow, fuck. I know what you mean, like nowhere to go to chill out. Like, I mean, I'm a bit of an introvert. So like, I know what you'd be like if you're like fucking with people all the time and then you're like, oh, I'm just like tired and like,
A lot of people were extroverts as well. Like most of the people from call-outs were entertainment management. They're all very lovely people, of course. But they're very more sociable than me at the time. Like I'm a naturally reserved person. At the time I was extra quiet. And again, like I didn't want to be rude as well. So I'd like try and force myself to engage when really like at the time like I didn't want to. True.
That must, yeah, it must have been, like, especially too, like, you're literally like, like, I mean, you're stuck in a music fest, like, you kind of, that's like the thing, like, you kind of have to like talk to people and shit. Like, yeah, wow, that's hectic. Damn, well,
Yeah. I've learned.
yeah,
My
yeah. Fuck, wow, yeah. Well, thanks for sharing that. Holy shit, that's intense. Yeah, I've never really like, I mean, yeah, most like my like music fest. I've never really been to like overnight ones before. Like it's mostly just like day stuff. But like I can totally understand, like, especially if you spend, I don't know how long Falls Festival was, but like even just like a week with like,
Yeah, I was there for about a week. Yeah.
yeah, oh shit, really, just with like the, I don't know, the same people like day in day out living with like the same people, like would be like hectic. And especially if like the only place you have to go to chill out is like a swag, like is your swag. It's like, yeah, like I love my room so much.
Yeah. I've been to a few festivals where they're overnight, and I haven't actually camped. I've always booked, like we've booked a house nearby.
Yeah.
Much more comfortable. Yeah, you get your privacy and stuff.
Yeah.
It was first time camping as well.
First time camping. Oh my gosh. Oh no.
No, I'm really at a festival.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was like, oh no, that's cool.
Yeah. So yeah, it was coupled with that. Yeah, there's just no place to like chillax.
Yeah. True. Yeah, wow. What have you been? What other music festivals have you been to? Any other rad or like?
Not too many. Like when I was underage, you only had there was Soundwave. I think I went to either the last one or the second last one. Whatever one had Marilyn Manson.
Yeah. That was my first one. Yeah. That's cool.
I was there.
Oh shit!
40 degrees.
Oh yes, I remember when. So I think when Marilyn Manson. Did you see Marilyn Manson? Did you see that set?
I just saw a bit from the side. I saw his intro, like his dramatic intro.
Yeah. I was seeing this other. I was a pop punk boy, and I was watching. I was like pop metal. I was like first getting into like kind of metal, I suppose. And this band like Crown the Empire, and they were in that, that like really fucking hot room. Like it was kind of like
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like 40 degrees, and I was like dripping with sweat, but I was like, oh, okay, this is sick. But then and now I didn't really know much about Marilyn Manson, but when I got into Marilyn Manson, I was like, should have gone and seen Marilyn Manson. Did you see Smashing Pumpkins?
No, I missed it. I don't know what the hell I was doing again. I was like, what, 15?
Yeah, I think that might have been the second night, because I went for the 2-night thing, so that might have been the night
one
after.
day.
Yeah,
Maybe that's why.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there for 1 day. Yeah, I missed them. I would have loved to see them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I went there because there were some bands I liked. I'm not like I wasn't a total metal pop punk listener, so that it was more for the experience and for those couple of bands that I knew.
Yeah.
Because otherwise there was that, and then there was Good Life, which I also went to, not because I liked it.
Woo! Good Life.
But there's only 2 underage festivals you can go to, so I went to both.
Yeah. That's awesome. Oh, that's cool.
And then after there's Falls, there's what other festivals are out there? I can't remember.
Good question. I mean, I went to Download, but I don't know if you went to. Did you ever go to a Download? Probably.
Yeah, I didn't go to Download.
Yeah.
I went to one in Canberra, but I can't remember what it was called.
Oh, sick.
I went there for a weekend.
Yeah.
Was it?
No, is it Day on the Green? That's a thing, isn't it? Day on the Green?
No, Day on the Green. It might have been Spilt Milk. Was that in Canberra?
Oh. Is that one of the Groove and Moves, but it was in Canberra? No? Groove and Move?
I don't know, but I know it was Groove and the Move.
Yeah, okay.
So it might have been But I like Spilt Milk because, I don't know, it was just a vibe. Stay drinking, having a good time.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
When do you reckon festivals are going to be back, Will? When are we going?
Well, actually, I have a Europe holiday booked for April next year, and they're going into their fucking 3rd wave or whatever at the moment. I don't even know. But my dream music festival is there, there's a in Amsterdam they have a road. It's called Roadburn. It's like it's not metal. It's like dark ambient music. So like Have a Nice Life. I don't know if you've heard of those guys. I think Godspeed You Black Emperor played last year. Like all kinds of like really good, like just dark music, and like it's really cool because like the festival, not to say that like a lot of festivals aren't focused on art, but like there's like artists like selling their like paint work there and like heaps of really cool stuff. So yeah, that awesome. Hopefully by April, I hope, but we'll see. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's kind of close. Hopefully, like, I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like Australia will be alright by then, but like I just really hope that, like, because I think in last April I was meant to go to like Amsterdam, Ireland, England. I had this like whole month fucking holiday planned, and yeah, it didn't bloody work.
Yeah, I remember you told me about it. For some reason, I thought it was supposed to happen this year.
Yeah, I know. Is this this year?
So you rescheduled?
Yeah. Well, I was gonna get like my money back from the tickets and stuff, but I was like, nah, like, gonna go. Like, I have to go see these bands. So, but it sucks too. Like, I mean, I don't even remember the last time like bands like Radiohead and stuff like came to Australia. Like, I would love I feel like I almost gonna have to like travel to other country to go like see him.
Yeah, Radiohead I would love to see. And also I'm bummed out I missed The Cure came a few years ago.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I didn't know you were a mad Cure fan. That's cool. When did you get into The Cure?
You know what, that was one through my band. Like, I've heard of The Cure, but again, I've never delved into that realm, which feels embarrassing to say.
Yeah, no, it's fine. That's fine.
Because my band would listen to it a lot. And it's kind of ingrained. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm like, this is good.
Yeah. No, I was late to the Cure game too. I started listening to them. It's funny. It was year 12 actually. I was on the way to school. I had a schoolies in Frankston, and I was catching the train there. I was like Safety Beach or something near Frankston. Anyway, I was catching the train there, and like yeah. And I was like getting into it. I think I'd listened to like 17 Seconds, whatever that album is, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is actually amazing, and blew my goddamn mind. Yeah. What are some big I'm gonna say this is gonna be really hard. Top 5, maybe not even your favorite artist, but I think like most influential, or even just one if you can't think of 5, but like just one that's like really made you like do music or be like, oh, I really want to do music because of that. Yeah. Put you on the spot. Sorry.
I think, well, that's hard.
Yeah.
Because I think like a lot of people, what you listen to and enjoy is sometimes separate from what you actually play. So I think it's hard.
It is, yeah. We can skip if you can't think of anything. It's fine.
Use my brain. There's everyone has those songs or artists or whatever genres that speaks to them musically, or even if they're not a musician, like you just feel it so much. Like I can't explain the feeling, but you know the feeling. Like specific like there's a couple of songs or artists, it's like off there. I'm like, how? It's my heart.
Yeah.
And so I think those moments in music, even if it's not a genre or something I play, but they just remind me of the power of it, I guess. And they remind me that I want to make something that makes me feel that same way, or if it doesn't make me feel that way, it makes someone else feel that way. I want to share that feeling that I can't.
That's super interesting.
And so artists like that, like I don't know if I have specific artists again, Ryex. I know Ryex. I don't know why I like him. He's just a small artist.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot from Iceland. I don't know if you listen to a lot of Icelandic music.
A little bit. There's a few like not like metal, but like doomy stuff from there that I like.
Yeah, I really. As soon as I hear it, I'm like, bro, it's from Iceland, right? And it's
Yeah.
like,
Is Bjork from Iceland? Is it?
Yeah. Honestly, I don't listen to much of her, not gonna lie, but I know she's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. You can just tell, because it is such a beautiful country. I've never been, but just from what I've seen, it looks very beautiful. And so you can tell, like, they're just drawing from how beautiful the country is into their music. Like, whoo, gives me the feel.
That's very. One of the thing this is not totally not on the list. I was kind of thinking this before, but like, why do you think you're? And it's kind of, you can't even really answer it. I mean, maybe you can, I don't know, but like, why do you think you're into the music you're into? Like, that's why I was wondering about a lot of people. Like, it's like how people like obviously like different things and stuff, and it's like why are they into that? Like, maybe it's like life experience. I don't know. Like, yeah, it's interesting.
That's a really good question.
I guess for like scientists to find out, I guess.
I think some of it is just natural, like preference. So some like, this person likes this color, this person likes this style of clothing.
Yeah.
So the stylistic things I think that people like, and those things you can't explain, like why am I wearing this jacket? And the other person next to me won't want to wear the jacket. I can't explain that one.
Yeah.
But then also, there's some music that I listen to that, depending on what phase I am in life. So a lot of it stemmed from when I was a teenager. I wasn't doing best again mentally, and a lot of that is reflected in the music that I listen to. And it's like that thing, like when you're sad, you listen to sad music and it makes you sadder. And you don't know why that feels good, but it does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so true. Yeah, there's definitely like I see what you mean by that. It's like that weird thing when like when you're in that state and then you're almost like, you don't even, it's not even like you almost enjoy it, but in like a weird, like not good, but kind of good way. I don't know. That's very interesting. That's a good point. Yeah, I know what you mean. It's
You follow in it a little bit. You need to get out of it, but you don't want to.
Yeah, I guess maybe it's because like you're not expressing how you're feeling, but someone else is expressing how you're feeling, but then for a weird way you like that. I don't. Yeah, it's interesting. Give me a lot to think about, Charlene. Deb. That's some interesting. It's interesting shit.
I got some. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Because I was thinking too, like, I mean, I guess people's surroundings probably has somewhat of a factor. Like, I mean, I listen to you probably don't listen to much black metal stuff, but the original Norwegian black metal and stuff like that. Like, it makes sense that people from like Norway like make that kind of music because it's such obviously like the weather's really harsh and it's like a harsh place to live, and I guess maybe going back to the blues too, and with I guess all like the slavery and stuff, and I blues came out of America. I don't know if I'm right about that. I know there was a big thing with that. But maybe like that was why like like maybe I don't know, their surroundings brought that music on, I suppose.
Through slavery and stuff, that would make those songs.
It
was interesting. I found out they like when they're out there, like this African Americans back in the slavery days, like what they would do, they would create, because they'd always be singing these songs that they're creating to help pass the day. And they'd create songs and they'd put sentences or certain codes in there. So, for example, if they wanted to overtake these specific, like, I don't know what you call them, the white people that are they would create this code and they would sing it, and as soon as they sung it, like everyone would know, okay, now's the time. It's like their secret.
Oh shit!
Like that.
That's smart as.
Yeah.
That's good. Oh man, that's cool. That's really smart. Yeah, shit. Whoa, yeah, that's cool as. That makes sense to, I guess, like apparently martial arts is a bit like that too. Like, what's that? That really slow one. It's like, is it Tai Chi? I don't know. But apparently, like people, they
Yeah.
they were like thought it was like I'm not sure if they were in prison or I'm not really sure. It was one of the seas wherever it came from. People were like doing that and like because it was actually teaching them fighting moves, but they told everyone like it was dancing because it looked like dancing. It's like that same kind of thing, and then it's like,
Yeah.
and then they became like
True. That's
ninjas.
yeah. That's so new. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so
That's
cool.
wicked.
Wow, that man, I have to make up my own musical language and just like start singing it. And just like I don't know, send
More
secret
crazy.
messages to people. Yeah. That's cool. That's cool. Shit. This is another. I have a lot of tough questions here. I apologize. What would you have for what advice would you give to a kid like just starting out creating music, like just kind of not so much like I guess pretty good at their instrument, but like more like just wanting to create stuff, like I don't know, or even like your past self. I don't know. Yeah,
Kids trying to create stuff.
yeah.
I feel like the kid that needs that question answered for me.
It really? Yeah, same.
I feel like yeah, in musical upbringing for me at least, they don't. I think we've talked about this before. Maybe I don't know if it was you, but
Yeah.
obviously in the school system, it's a bit hard to measure creativity. So like when you're coming up in music class, there's assignments that have to be measurable, and so the task of creating or writing, it's too hard to mark. So how do you know, like, you have a teacher and they hear this song that you write, they might like it, they might not like it, that's up to them, but how does that grade what the song is?
Yeah.
So I think that lacks in the education system. Even in my private lessons coming up, it was all just like, this is how you play your instrument, not, this is how you write, or this is how you create. And so I feel like I'm a kid. I feel like I'm fresh on the scene of, the creation.
Yeah.
So, what would you say to a kid? I need your help.
Yeah. I know. I mean, I guess like, I don't know. It was weird, like, cause when I was in high school and like doing stuff, it was like I didn't even know that real like making my own songs was like on the table. I guess I don't know for a while. Maybe when I got to like year 10 or 11 or whatever, I got GarageBand and was like messing around with that, but I never was able to like make songs because there was this, I always kept having like feedback issues. I was like, I'm just going to give up. But like I was like, oh, I just want to make shoegaze music, or like, I was listening to heaps of this is my black metal stage. It was oh my god, it was such a phase. And I was like, oh, I just want to like try and make like black metal, and but I had like didn't know anything about production or anything like that, so I was like, oh, this sucks. Yeah. But I don't know. I guess try and make something as I don't know, just improve on your last thing. I guess it's weird because it's like when you first write a song, you're like, oh, this is sick, and then when you look back on it, you're like, oh, that was trash. And then I this weird thing where I'm like, oh, I can't write because like that's trash. But I think like it's just like forcing yourself to keep going because like, and it's going to be a never-ending battle probably. I'm just like that. I'm like, well, like I don't know. I feel like when I finish this album thing, I'm like, this sucks. Like, why did I even bother? You know. But then it's like, I'm sure I'll appreciate it too. But I mean, yeah, I guess it's that weird like constant thing where like you have to expect that you're gonna want to do better, or like I don't know. It's weird. I try to get past that like self-doubt. I think it's the hardest thing. I think just like trying to like be okay with it sounding trash for a little bit, just so that when you keep working on it, it gets good. That was a big thing I learned, especially with lyric writing, because like, man, I wrote some trash. My first song was about I was trying to write like Jack White, and I was like, or like from like the White Stripes. I was like, oh, I'm just gonna write like weird like nursery rhymes, like make just like weird random stories that don't even relate to anything, but they're just like kind of weird. And I wrote this one about a shoe, and this guy who'd stolen this guy's shoe, and about like all the crazy shit he was doing, like running around like with his shoe, and like I think what the chorus was like, fuck you, "Don't steal my shoe" or something like that. I was like, this is some fucking lyric genius, but
That's
then,
pretty
no, oh, I don't know. It's pretty, it's pretty, I don't know. It was just so like childish, but great. Like, I don't know. But at the same time, like I look back on it, I'm like, oh man, it was like so terrible. Like I didn't know anything. But
it's stuff like that it's you say it's childish, but I think childish is good. Like I think, you know, we should all aspire to be more childlike. I think that's where everything comes out. Even though, I mean, it might be about a shoe. What's wrong with that? About a shoe, you can change that. Maybe it's not chasing your shoe. Keep the lyrics and turn the shoe into a metaphor or something. I don't know. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Shit. Oh man, you are experienced. You're not just starting. You're good at this. God damn. Fuck.
You know what? About shoes.
That's cool. Man, maybe I should. Yeah, maybe I will. I'll give it a go. Oh man, it was so crazy. I think all I knew was power chords at the time, and I was just like, oh, I'm just gonna make a Jack White punk song. And, oh man, the days. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's hard to give advice though, because it's like, you know, I know what you mean. It's like you can't be like, you'll progress. It's like your style will evolve, because it's not even like I mean, I suppose people are progressing and stuff, but you can't say that you're improving or not improving. It's just like, it's just your style's changing. Like, don't dislike, you know, the old stuff you make, because, you know, it's just a different way. But it's hard. It's hard. Oh,
I think you just gotta keep creating, even though shit. You get discouraged from the last song. You got to make another song. Like, there's songs that I've made like 2 years ago. I think there's like 1 or 2 songs that I still look back at, and I'm like, damn, that's good. Like, but like very seldom things. And so I think if I just keep creating, maybe I'll have some more of those. But no,
100%. Yeah, no, but like, because especially like, when you like finish it and stuff, like, man, it's fucking so awesome. But that's cool. Damn, you give me a lot. You give me a lot to think about, Charlene. Damn, I'm gonna have to rework my my shoe song. Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's cool. How's do you have any goals for your? Because you're doing piano. Charlene's doing piano teaching now. So whenever you want piano talks. On Zoom and theory too. You're doing like really cool theory stuff. So whenever anyone wants to become a master, she is the what's it? The Jedi. What's that, like, the head Jedi person? I don't know. The Jedi Council. No, I don't even know. I don't know Star Wars.
I don't know.
I don't want to say you're the Sith Lord, but you're what's the good team's Lord? I don't know. Whatever. But you're a gun. So everyone check Charlene's lessons out if you want to become a gun. But yeah, well, yeah, thanks for coming on. I think we're in a lot of rants. I think that's all the questions. I think I just ranted the whole time. I didn't really look at the questions that much, to be honest.
That's right. We always tend to just go off on a rant, so
it's good. It's good fun. It's good fun. Well, is there anything you want to say? Anything you want to tell the people?
Tell the people.
Yeah.
Go subscribe to the Willie P podcast.
Oh, God.
And, I hope everyone's staying strong out there with COVID.
Yeah.
You know, it's a hard time, but we're gonna get through it. Music will be back. We'll all be back. And I want to hear. Can we get the outro, like the intro, but the outro, the Willie P podcast?
Oh yeah, I'll put that in right there. Yeah.
Podcast. Willie P podcast. Yeah. Yo. This is your boy Willie P from the Willie P podcast, talking all things art, all things music. Hope you enjoy.